This is the start list. Gymnast from Turkey leading the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Turkey, İlayda Şahin.
So we are about to start with the women's vault at this World Challenge Cup, and it's İlayda Şahin from Turkey, qualified in 4th place. Very nice. Great way for her to start. She scored a 13.2 for her first vault in a qualification. Really nailed that one. Very centred. And the coach looks delighted with that. Her last World Challenge Cup was in last year in Slovenia, where she finished 9th in the vault, so just didn't qualify for those finals. Before that, it was back in 2021.
Representing Turkey, İlayda Şahin, 2nd vault.
Ready for her second vault. Remember, it's an average of the two. Well, she has come out here and vaulted well. Just needed that extra little step at the end. Kept the arms nice and straight. And looked full of confidence throughout. 4.2 and 3.6 were the difficulty with the vaults in a qualification. .966 is her final score. So just very slightly, less than 0.1 though, difference between that and the qualifiers. Adelina Ionescu from Romania, the 5th qualifier, started with a 4.6 difficulty in qualification. To work hard there, landing on the heels, sorry. Hasn't competed so much in World Cups or World Challenge Cups, but in the competition she has been in, she's had some really consistent all-around performances. Competed at the European Junior Championships back in 2024, and also the Rising Star Trophy as well. She did get a 0.1 deduction in qualification on her second vault, which is a 3.8 difficulty. That's because her foot came out of the line. What can she do for her second vault? So 12.966 is the score to beat. Just losing a little bit of form in the air. She's only 16 years of age. So here getting some really good experience. And hasn't she done well qualifying for a final? She's not the youngest competitor. We have a 15-year-old as well. I'm always so impressed by these young gymnasts as they come up through the ranks and come out here with so much confidence. 12.983 was her average score in a qualification. If she gets that today, it would put her slightly ahead of Şahin from Turkey. So 12.749. She did go for the 4.6 on the difficulty. She upped her second vault from a 3.8 to a 4.0. 12.749. Very slightly less than qualification and into second place. Julia Reisenhofer from Liechtenstein. Got a lot of speed there. Qualified in a third place. Found it difficult to control just at the end. But kept the heels together, which is good. Just a little bit off balance at the end. But certainly no penalties. She didn't go outside of the line, so she did well to hold on to that. Started competing internationally back in 2024. Represented Switzerland before. Finalist at the World Cup last year, 7th in the vault in Turkey. Oh, got a lot of height there. Yes, 7th in Turkey at the World Cup last year and 8th in Croatia the year before. So she is used to getting into these finals when she does compete. 17th at the European Championships last year. So 13.149 was her average score in qualification. If she gets that, it will put her in the lead so far. 18 years of age. Difficulty was the same as qualification. It's a 13.117, and that does indeed put her into first place at the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Croatia, Tiana Korent, first vault.
Tiana Korent from Croatia, second highest qualifier. She tends to put her slightly easier vault first. Just a few little steps there, so it didn't look as confident. 37 years of age, certainly the oldest competitor here, but very experienced as well. Took a bronze at the World Challenge Cup last year. in Hungary, a silver in Slovenia and a bronze in Bulgaria. She took gold back in 2023 in Bulgaria, so obviously she really likes it here. Is this going to be her
Representing Croatia,
second
Tiana
opportunity of
Cohen,
taking the
second
gold?
vault.
Now her second vault. Very confident. We've, just a little bit off that centre line, but no real damage done then. She kept within the outer lines, which is important. She showed a lot of power, keeping the arms straight. Look at that determination. Very impressive from the 37-year-old. 13.166 was her score in qualification. So that would put her into first place. But of course, we still have 4 more to go. She has been in 2 World Championships, a long gap between them, 2011 and then 2025, where she finished 24th in the vault. Which is a very... So 13.100. So that puts her into a second place at the moment. Difficulty was the same as qualification. Very consistent on the execution, isn't she? 8.8 across both. So now the gymnasts for the second group have their chance of warming up. Leading the way will be Mara Slippens from the Netherlands, currently lying in first place in the qualifications. And then we'll get a chance to see Grace Davies from Great Britain. She's going to have a very busy World Challenge Cup. She's qualified for a few finals. We'll then move on to Ukraine and the youngest competitor with Anastasia Lev. She qualified 6th. And Denise Alieva from Azerbaijan, another 16-year-old, will be going in 8th place. .117 is the score to beat at the moment. Julia Reisenhofer from Liechtenstein. .25 meters on the run up. Keep the arms straight on the table. So it looks like there may have been a change on the scoring there for Adelina Ionescu. She had a 12.749, but it's just come up as a 12.950. We'll have to wait for the classified results at the end to confirm that. Important to keep the hips square at the end, as she did then. Should they put their hands down at the end of the vault, it would be a mark deduction. But we move on now. Mara Slippens from the Netherlands, qualified in first place. Did a 4.6 vault in qualification for her first one, so really went for the difficulty. Excellent. That will help calm any nerves. I must say, she looked very confident throughout. Very nice form in the air. Elbow slightly bent on the table. 15th in the vault at the European Championships last year.
Second vault.
Now on to her second vault. She's presented herself to the judges. What can she do here? Obviously, that very large step back there just didn't look quite as controlled as the first vault. A little bit of sideways move, but not too bad. .233 was her qualification score. If she was to get that, it would put her into first place, ahead of Julia Reisenhofer. (19 years of age). Hasn't competed more recently in the World Challenge Cups. Finished 5th in the event in Bulgaria, actually, back in 2022. .233. That does put her into first place. The difficulty was the same as qualification, 4.6 and a 4.0.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Great Britain,
Grace Davies qualified in 8th place. She's the only one who qualified that didn't get the 0.2 bonus. Normally starts with a 4.6. Oh, that determination. But she really flung herself into that and unfortunately came out of the lines, almost came off the mat there. It's good to see differentiation between the straight legs or whether it's a tuck. 8th at the British Championships this year on this apparatus. Hasn't competed in World Cups or World Challenge Cups, but did the Luxembourg Open earlier this year. Normally does easier vault second. In qualification it was a 3.8. But got higher execution there. Very nice. Coaches and trains at the Robin Hood Gymnastics Centre. Has been doing gymnastics since the age of 5, having watched her sister training and competing. Now 18 years of age. Determination. .233 currently the score to beat. And it's a 12.617. Difficulty did remain the same as qualification.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Ukraine,
Anastasia Lev from Ukraine, the youngest competitor at 15 years of age, qualified in 6th. Very neat. She went with a 4.2 and a 3.8 in qualification. She showed really good form in that. Has competed in 3 World Cups this year.
Representing Ukraine, Anastasia Lev, second vault.
And now the second vault. Oh, what a shame. Oh, she did well there. She could so easily have fallen at the end of that. Worked very, very hard to make sure it was just the step back. So well done to her for that. Competed at the Junior World Championships. Qualified 21st for the all-around. 14th though in the all-around in the end. So getting more and more experience. And now here competing in a senior competition at the age of 15. 12.650. So in the first place we have Mara Slippens leading the way with 13.233. The last competitor to go is Denise Alieva. Look close as to whether one foot did go out. I think it may still have been on the line. We'll have to wait and see what the judges think. Representing Azerbaijan, qualified in 7th place. She's competed extensively really over the last couple of years, even though she's only still 16. Yet to medal, but she's been close at times. Made a finals at the World Cup when it was in Azerbaijan. 6th place there. Would like to see her look just a little bit more confident when she looks towards the judges. Whatever has happened on the vault, it's important to look as confident as possible. That arms really nice and straight there, brought the knees in well. Always good to have a tight tuck. So it could have been a little bit tighter. .233 currently lying first. It's a 12.850. She did get a 0.1 penalty for the foot coming out on that first vault. It's a bronze medal for Tijana Korent from Croatia. Julia Weissenhofer from Liechtenstein taking the silver.
First place in gold medal, representing Netherlands, Mara Slippers.
She qualified in first place. Mara Slippens from the Netherlands takes the gold.
Third place awards President of Bulgarian Technical Committee for Women, Svetlana Dobrova.
Трето място награждава Цветана Доброва, президент на Българското техническо комитет жени.
Second place awards President of Bulgarian Federation of Artistic Gymnastics, Vice Olympic Champion Krasimir Dulev.
Второ място награждава Красимир Дунев, президент на Българската федерация по спортна гимнастика.
And first place award Lyudmila Lee, World Gymnastics Technical Committee member.
Първо място награждава Людмила Ли, член на технически комитет към Световната федерация.
So for Mara Slippens from the Netherlands, taking the gold, 13.233. Julia Weissenhofer from Liechtenstein, 13.117 for the silver. And Tiana Korent, the bronze, 13.100, representing Croatia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise up for the national anthem of Netherlands.
Gold to the Netherlands, silver to Liechtenstein, bronze Croatia. Congratulations to all of the gymnasts. Finalists just getting ready to walk out as we have a look at the start list. Yali Shoshani from Israel will be leading the way ahead of Diana Lobok, the highest qualifier from Ukraine. Can't afford to slip on those grips. So leading the way, Yali Shoshani from Israel, qualified in 8th. She had a high difficulty but got the lowest execution at 6.433. What can she do today? Keeping the heels nicely together. Just lost momentum on the release and catch there. After the Kachev. Building momentum for the dismount, but wasn't able to control it. The main thing is she is okay. She used that forward momentum to rescue herself really at the end of that performance. She competed in Croatia at the World Cup this year. She finished 17th on this apparatus. Competed in Croatia as well last year, where she finished 11th. So well done to her for qualifying for this final. Just missed on qualification in France at the World Challenge Cup last year. So she would have come here, I think, with her main aim of qualifying for the finals, which she's done. So well done to her. Didn't quite go the way she probably wanted it to in the finals. 12.233 was her score in the qualification. Certainly pushing herself on the difficulty of the programme. Valuable international competition experience as well, just 17. Generally competes across a number of apparatus. Uneven bars tends to be ones where she is highest placed. Although that she has had a silver on the floor back in Croatia in the World Cup last year, having qualified first. .433. Slightly less on the difficulty than the qualifications. Diana Lobog from Ukraine, the highest qualifier. Not the start she wanted. Always so, you feel for the gymnast, don't you, when it doesn't quite go their way, having got a really good qualification spot. It just shows what she is capable of. Support from the coach there. They are allowed to spot. Can come in and rescue if they feel they need to. Bit of loss of form there. Well, what a talent she is, but she just looked a little bit nervous today, I felt. Took her a while to get into it. Yeah, it is different coming into a finals than competing in the qualifications. Qualifications, it's all about the top 8 places. Obviously, the scores don't carry through, and then you need to come out here and repeat that performance when it comes to the finals as well, if you want to get a podium place. She just didn't look so confident, lacked on the lines a little bit, not quite reaching the vertical lines when she was doing the headstands. But she obviously has got superb talent and ability. She's only young, but she's competed in 7 World Cups over the last few years. 13th in Turkey this year on this exercise, and in Germany as well. So didn't make the finals, but did make finals in Qatar last year, where she finished just off the podium in 4th place. Competed at the World Championships last year as well. So certainly building in experience. She was in the European Championships, World Junior Championships back in 2023 that was. .8, 6.3 on the execution. Gives 5.5 the difficulty. So that's opened the door a little bit to the others. Yeren Biner from Turkey qualified fourth, the 21-year-old. Let's keep the heels together just a little bit more. Looking very solid so far. Well, the main thing is I hope she's okay. I hope she's well enough to continue. Looks like she is, just getting a bit more grip. She was so solid through the release and catch on the first one. Keeping it very simple to the end. You can just see the body language, the disappointment there. She's competed extensively at the World Cups this year. 9th was her best place on this apparatus. That was in Croatia. 10th in Turkey in front of the home crowd. So has done well to make the finals here. It's her first final in quite a while. Last year she was fourth in this event here in Bulgaria, so just off the podium on that occasion, unfortunately. No problem there with the grip. She did grab hold of it, but couldn't sustain it. '43rd at the World Championships. .5 puts her into second place at the moment. Still a long way to go. Difficulty reduced down to a 4.8.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing
So the last one out of the first four. This is Natalie Westland from Sweden, the Nordic champion. Joint highest difficulty in the qualifications. This is a good start for her. Excellent. Just left it a little bit short there. How can she nail this? A little bit low on the knees, but she managed to control it pretty well. That's a good overall performance from Natalie Westland, World Cup medalist on this apparatus back in 2023 in Qatar. 5th in Croatia this year at the World Cup. Part of the team that finished 7th at the European Championships last year. Competed at the World Challenge Cup in France last year. She got great height there. The World Challenge Cup in France last year, where she was 8th in this apparatus. So qualified for the finals. Also competed back in 2022, so a few years ago in Croatia, where she finished 6th qualified in 3rd place. She qualified 5th here, but that was a very good program from her. 12.433 was her qualification score. She was only 6.633 on execution then, though. .266, slightly less on the difficulty, 5.7, so slightly less overall than her qualification score, but it is good enough to put her into 1st place at the moment with 4 more to compete. They will have a chance to warm up now.
Уважаеми дами и господа, в перфектно състояние в физическите науки, състезателите да може да повдига успоредите и да става успоредите.
So currently lying in 1st place, Natalie Westland from Sweden. 2nd, Diana Lobog, who unfortunately fell. We had a few of those today. Having qualified in 1st place, she would have obviously been disappointed. 3rd place, we have Yali Shashani. And in 4th place, Yeren Biner from Turkey. We now move on to the 2nd 4. Coralie Demers from Canada, the 16-year-old, the youngest competitor, will be leading the way on that. Qualified in 3rd place, so a real possibility of getting on the podium here. Roni Shameh from Israel will go next, having qualified 6th. And then Ashante Eve Armanqua from Great Britain, qualified in 2nd place, will be going 2nd to last. Sara Zelukic from Croatia going last. So the medals are still very open here. Making a few adjustments. Important that it is absolutely right for each gymnast. Hopefully this won't take too long for the gymnasts. But as I say, important that it is absolutely correct. Keeping in the zone, keeping flexible, keeping the muscles warm, so important. Good teamwork going on here. Everyone very much enjoying the first day of finals. As the last two complete their warm-up. Age limit for the women's event, they must have been born in 2010 or before. For the men, it's born in 2008 or before. And of course, as well as the medals to be won, there's also World Challenge Cup points for the finalists, particularly 30 points for first, down to 10 points for eighth. So that is the warm-up complete, and we are about to go with the final four. We welcome Coralie Demers from Canada. Third highest qualifier. Starts with a difficulty normally of 5. That was what it was in qualification. The youngest athlete to compete in this event. 16 years of age. Safely down to the lower bar. Good on the pirouette. Excellent. Didn't quite nail the dismount there, but overall a strong performance there from Coralie Demers. 12.766 was her score in qualification. If she was to get that, it would put her into first place with 3 more to go. Competed at the Junior World Championships last year in the Philippines. Came 26th on this apparatus there. She had really nice form throughout. The straddle catchers were strong. She looked very confident, I thought, throughout as well. Building on experience, so really great to see her competing here at this World Challenge Cup. Obviously, at only 16, she's not as experienced as a lot of the other gymnasts here, but what she will be doing is learning from the others as well. And that's why it's important to come out here and be on the field of play, compete. And she's made a final, so very well done to her. It's an opportunity to meet other gymnasts, make friendships as well, be inspired along the way. 12.80, that is slightly higher than she got in the qualifications, and that has indeed put her into first place with 3 more gymnasts to go. So a medal isn't assured yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Israel, Yoni Shamai.
For Israel, it's Ronnie Shamai, qualified in 6th place. And it goes with a difficulty of around 5.5, the 17-year-old. A very elegant gymnast. Just losing a little bit of form, needs to keep the heels together. But overall, a solid performance there. Her degree difficulty is normally less than her teammate Shoshani, but she made up for it on the execution and actually qualified ahead of her. Shoshani qualified in 8th, Shamay in 6th. 12.333 was her score in qualification. So that would be enough to put her into a 2nd place. She did lose form just a couple of times throughout it. Strong on the pirouettes. And then the double on the dismount. th in this event in Croatia. That was at the World Cup earlier this year. 13.2. So she has increased by a whole mark, nearly a mark, on her qualification, and that is enough to put her into a 1st place. So a medal is assured with 2 more to compete. Just making the adjustments for Shante Eve Amankwa from Great Britain, qualified in a 2nd place. A real chance of a medal here, so needs to make sure it's absolutely right for her. They seem happy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
13.066 was her scoring qualification. She'll need to go higher than that if she wants gold. Looking very strong and determined. Excellent. And very nicely, those knees on that tuck. The coach is delighted. She looks very happy with that performance. Silver in this event at the British Championships, representing the Bristol Hawks. Was the junior British all-around champion back in 2024. .7 was her difficulty in qualification. That was a really strong performance from her, getting the lines nice there. Excellent on the release and catch. Back salto. Really drew those knees in. I really liked that. And if you get a fist pump from the coach, you've obviously done something very well indeed. 13.2 is the score to beat. And it's a 13.133, just short. But it is more than she had in a qualification. She has improved on her execution.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Croatia.
So she is assured of a medal as well. The last competitor, Sada Suljic from Croatia, qualified 7th. It was a strong start, but she couldn't keep it going. Now she needs to regroup, refocus. Nicely round on the pirouette. The layout to finish. Disappointing for Sada. Qualified in 7th place. Competed back in 2025. Has made finals on numerous occasions in the World Cups. Got a 4th in Egypt, a 5th in Croatia and a 4th in Azerbaijan last year. The World Challenge Cups, she did get a silver back in 2024 when it was held in her home country of Croatia. But for Sada Suljic, disappointing that it wasn't a completely clean routine, so she will get those deductions. She's normally lower as well on the difficulty overall. And if you're low on the difficulty, you can't afford to make a mistake. But other than that, she showed good form. A little bit of leg separation coming into it. Years of age. Has competed at 3 European Championships. Finished 27th back in 2025. Has to score more than 12.8, I believe, if she wants to be on the podium. Going to be easy though, having fallen off and not done a clean performance. Coralie Demertz currently lying 3rd with that 12.8. .866. Confirmation. Ronnie Shamai taking the gold for Israel. Great Britain, the silver, and Canada, the bronze.
Трето място и бронзов медал за представителка.
So we now have the medal ceremony. Coralie Demers taking the bronze medal, 12.800. Shante Eve Armakwa from Great Britain taking the silver, 13.133. And it's a gold for Ronnie Shemai from Israel, 13.20.
Third place award, President of Bulgarian Technical Committee for Men's Todorov.
Трето място награждава Тодор Тодоров, президент на Български технически комитет мъже.
Second place award, Людмила Ли, World Gymnastic Technical Committee member.
Второ място награждава Людмила Ли, член на технически комитет към Световната федерация.
And first place award, Chief Executive Director of Palace of Culture and Sport, Minko Christov.
Първо място награждава Минко Христов, изпълнителен директор на Двореца на културата и спорта.
The medalists for the Artistic World Challenge Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise up for the national anthem of Israel. Photo time. Gather on first place.
The photos need to be taken.